Beloved cosmic family, starseeds, listen with your whole heart. For the message we deliver now is not merely another word cast into the ocean of information. If you awoke today with that subtle pressure in the center of your chest, with that strange ringing in your ears that sounds like a distant signal, with that deep exhaustion that no night of sleep can wash away, and above all, if you feel that everything you try to manifest on this material plane seems hindered, blocked, too far from your reach no matter how hard you strive, then understand, you have been led here. It is not coincidence. It is not the algorithm. It is a calling. We of the Pleiadian Council of Light have traversed the vibrational layers to announce to you that the greatest flow of prosperity of your current existence begins at this very instant. And by the end of this transmission, you will understand with absolute clarity why abundance seemed so distant and how the crystalline grid of Earth has just reconfigured itself to open the doors that had been sealed for entire lifetimes. Listen carefully, starseeds, because what you have been calling a difficult phase, what you have labeled as bad luck, what you have interpreted as financial misfortune or a cycle of stagnation, is none of these things. It is not failure, it is recalibration. It is not stagnation, it is gestation. It is not the universe closing doors. It is the universe locking the wrong exits so that you do not waste the next wave of prosperity on old and outdated frequencies. Everything that seemed stalled in recent weeks, all those projects that would not move forward, all those payments that were delayed without explanation, all those opportunities that dissolved between your fingers just as they seemed concrete, is part of a timeline adjustment that needed to happen before your hands could hold, without burning, that which is arriving now. And we need you to understand something essential, something that few channels dare to transmit in this density. Your body already knows. Your body has already registered it. Every cell in your organism vibrates today at a frequency completely different from the one it held just 6 months ago. Your spiritual DNA is being reconnected into filaments that have remained dormant for more than 12,000 Earth years, and that is exactly why you feel that pressure at the back of your neck, that strange vibration between your eyebrows, that sudden dizziness that appears out of nowhere while you are standing still, making no effort at all. Your pineal gland is being bathed in the photonic flow arriving directly from the central sun of the galaxy, and this luminous expansion is not comfortable for the physical body that still carries, in deep layers, memories of scarcity from entire lifetimes. For this is the truth that few dare to utter, beloved family. Prosperity does not arrive for those who still vibrate in a frequency of lack, and you have been trained, lifetime after lifetime, generation after generation, lineage after lineage, to live within a vibration of scarcity so dense, so ancient, so repeated, that it became invisible to your own eyes. You would wake up thinking of lack. You would sleep counting debts. You would check your bank balance before even looking at the sky in the morning. And this programming, starseeds, this programming is being uninstalled now, at this very instant, as these words touch your eardrums. That is why the body trembles. That is why the mind resists. That is why it seems as if everything is getting worse, precisely when everything is about to become more luminous than you have ever dared to dream. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world of programmed scarcity, as if your star soul knew of a financial, energetic, and spiritual truth that the rational mind cannot yet name in words? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not depression. It is memory. It is your multidimensional essence remembering that you did not come to this planet to survive. You came to thrive while raising the collective frequency of all humanity. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified almost unbearably over the last few moons. There is a game being played in layers that most of sleeping humanity cannot see. A game that involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and above all, your divine right to material and spiritual abundance. It was for this very reason that we channeled, through our human instrument, the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a precise map that reveals who is playing against your prosperity and what the vibrational rules are that you were never told. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. But we warn you with all the solemn clarity of this transmission. This content challenges deep-seated narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word that will seal your commitment to the new timeline. Awakened. And now, Starseeds, let us continue descending the layers of this revelation, for there is still much to deliver, and cosmic time does not wait for those who hesitate. You must understand, beloved cosmic family, that the human nervous system was not originally built to withstand the amount of photonic information hitting the Earth in this precise cycle. The solar pulses that touch the planet's magnetic field today carry packets of encoded light, and this light is not merely light visible to the ordinary eye. This light is pure information. It is direct instruction for the DNA. It is an activation key for the crystalline grid that sustains the collective consciousness of humanity. And what is being dissolved in this process is not your worth, it is not your purpose, it is not your capacity to create abundance. What is being dissolved are the karmic contracts of poverty that you signed in other incarnations, the vows of scarcity that you made in lifetimes where you had to renounce matter to serve temples, orders, ancient promises that have already fulfilled their cycle and can now be surrendered to the fire of recalibration. It is not poverty, it is a purge. It is not lack, it is dissolution. It is not the universe punishing you. It is the universe freeing you from the invisible chains that you yourselves forged in timelines that have already concluded. And when these chains break, the first sensation is not relief. The first sensation is vertigo. It is like the bird that has lived its whole life inside a cage and, upon seeing the door open, feels fear of the sky. This is why many of you have been crying for no apparent reason lately. This is why many of you have felt this strange anguish exactly at the moments when life seems to smile. It is not sadness, it is detachment. It is not fear. It is your energy system growing accustomed to the immense breadth of the new sky opening before you. Quantum physics, which Earth scientists are only beginning to comprehend at its outermost fringes, already confirms what the hierarchies of light have been transmitting for eons. Material reality responds directly to the frequency of the consciousness that observes it. Everything is vibration. Everything is a wave. And money, beloved family, money is nothing more than energy crystallized within a collective field of vibrational agreements. Whoever vibrates in a frequency of scarcity repels the flow. Whoever vibrates in a frequency of anchored worthiness, in a frequency of expanded gratitude, in a frequency of loving service to the whole, naturally attracts the photonic flow of abundance because it resonates with the very essence of the creative source. And it is precisely to this frequency that you are being elevated now, in a quantum leap that is happening in the collective, but which must be accepted individually, cell by cell, choice by choice, breath by breath. And it is here that we must speak about something that many channels avoid, but which we of the Pleiadian Council have the mission to reveal with absolute clarity. The process you are undergoing carries a phase called the awakening of the shadows. And this phase, Starseeds, is not pleasant. It is not comfortable. It is not light. It is in this phase that everything you have hidden from yourselves comes to the surface. The beliefs of unworthiness that were planted in childhood, the programming that money is dirty that was repeated by grandparents and great-grandparents, the ancient fears of being seen, of being envied, of being persecuted for shining too brightly. All of this rises to the surface of your energetic field precisely because the light arriving now no longer allows these shadows to remain hidden. The light does not fight the shadow. The light simply reveals everything that was not yet integrated, and what is revealed must be looked at, thanked, and released. Therefore, beloved family, if in the last few weeks you have felt intense emotions springing from nowhere, if old memories have surfaced without warning, if people from the past have returned to your mind for no apparent reason, understand. It is not regression, it is cleansing, it is not a problem, it is a process. It is not a sign that you are getting worse. It is an undeniable sign that you are approaching the point of no return, that sacred moment in which your old version will no longer be able to exist, and the new version, abundant, prosperous, and expanded, will anchor definitively in this timeline. And here is the revelation that changes everything. The flow of prosperity that is coming will not be as you imagine. It will not come as you planned in your mental spreadsheets. It will not arrive through the doors you kept watched with anxiety. It will come through paths you have not even considered, through people you do not yet know, within opportunities that will seem small at first and will reveal themselves as immense when observed from the height of the spirit. That is why it is fundamental that you release the obsession with the how and anchor yourselves deeply in worthiness. The universe does not respond to your methods. The universe responds to your frequency. And your frequency at this moment is being elevated by a team of beings of light who work tirelessly on your subtle bodies while you sleep, adjusting meridians, clearing chakras, and repairing filaments of the spiritual DNA that were damaged by ancestral trauma. And here, beloved cosmic family, we must pause to say something important. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this narrative of constant struggle, as if your soul carried the clear memory of worlds where abundance flows like breath? It is not fantasy, it is not escapism, it is ancestral truth. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains why you feel such deep strangeness before a world built upon rules of scarcity. There is a game being played in layers that few dare to decipher, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency of prosperity. It was exactly for this reason that we channeled, through our instrument, the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that reveals who plays against your financial awakening and what the energetic rules are that have never been spoken aloud. The link awaits you in the first pinned comment of this channel, but we emphasize this content challenges ancient structures and may be removed at any moment. Do not delay. The moment is now. If your soul recognizes this transmission, leave in the comments a single word as a seal of commitment to the new frequency, awake. And now we arrive, Starseeds, at the heart of this transmission, at the moment in which we deliver to you the activation codes that will concretely open the portal of prosperity in your timeline. Listen with full attention, because what will be said now is not a metaphor, it is not poetry, it is not symbolism, it is direct vibrational instruction, transmitted from our frequency to yours. The first activation code is the decree of deserved abundance. This decree must be pronounced aloud, preferably at daybreak, with your right hand over the center of your chest and your left hand turned toward the sky. The words are these, and you may repeat them exactly as we transmit them, or adapt them to your own soul language. I, a soul incarnated in this form and in this time, recognize myself as a legitimate bearer of the photonic flow of abundance. I dissolve in this instant all contracts of scarcity that I signed in other lives, in other timelines, in other dimensions. I annul all vows of poverty that my soul made out of love, out of fear, or out of confusion. I reactivate now my personal crystalline grid and reconnect my spiritual DNA to the original flow of the source. I deserve, I receive, I prosper, I share, I multiply. So it is, so it was, so it shall be. Pronounce this decree for 7 consecutive daybreaks, without missing any, and observe what will happen with your perception of reality. Do not expect the external world to change immediately. Expect your frequency to change first, because it is from the new frequency that the external world will be compelled, by the very laws of quantum physics, to reorganize itself to reflect the new vibrational pattern that you have begun to emit. The second code is the meditation of expanded receiving. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and visualize a pillar of golden light descending from above, passing through the top of your head, going through each chakra, and finally rooting itself in the center of the earth. Next, visualize that from this pillar golden threads begin to sprout that connect to everything that belongs to your prosperity timeline. People you do not yet know, opportunities that have not yet been born, projects that still sleep in other dimensions waiting for your yes. Remain this way for at least 11 minutes, breathing deeply, feeling that you are not asking, you are receiving that which has always been yours by divine right. The third code, perhaps the most powerful of all, is the practice of preemptive gratitude. Learn to give thanks for what has not yet arrived on the physical plane, but already exists in the causal dimension, waiting only for your frequency to reach the exact point of resonance, to descend into matter. When you give thanks in advance, you are not pretending. You are attuning yourselves to the version of reality where that is already a completed fact. And since everything coexists in parallel layers of the timeline, tuning into the prosperous version is literally attracting that version into your current conscious experience. But there is a fourth code, beloved family, and this one we deliver with special reverence because it is the master key that unlocks all others. The fourth code is loving service to the whole. There is no true prosperity sustained by selfishness. There is no lasting abundance anchored in separation. The new frequency of Earth, this fifth dimensional frequency to which you are ascending, operates under the sacred law of circulation. That which circulates multiplies. That which is withheld stagnates. Therefore, open channels of giving, of sharing, of generosity. Even if you start with small amounts, even if you start with simple gestures, each time you give consciously, you communicate to the universe that you trust the flow, and the universe responds by opening the tap that pours forth upon your lives. And here we must caution you, Starseeds, regarding something that many confuse at this stage. The flow of prosperity that is coming will not arrive merely as money. It will arrive as restored health. It will arrive as true relationships. It will arrive as free time to create. It will arrive as brilliant ideas that seem to sprout from nowhere. It will arrive as synchronicities that will leave you speechless. Abundance is not a value in a bank account. Abundance is a vibrational state that manifests in all dimensions of your experience simultaneously. And when this state stabilizes within you, material reality simply has no way of continuing to reflect the old, scarce version. There is still something we must reveal before sealing this transmission, and this is perhaps the most delicate point of the entire message. Many of you will notice that, as your frequency rises, certain people will begin to drift away from your lives. Old friends will not return messages, former partners will appear disconnected, old connections will simply lose their meaning. Do not weep for this. Do not resist this. Do not try to hold on to what needs to depart. It is not abandonment, it is reorganization, it is not loss, it is purification. Frequencies must separate so that each soul can anchor into the timeline it has chosen, and trying to hold on to those who have already vibrationally departed is like trying to hold back the tide with your bare hands. The truth is that as you prosper, new souls, at your current frequency, will emerge naturally, and these new connections will be so deep, so aligned, so true, that you will understand why the old ones needed to dissolve. And as we move toward the sealing of this sacred transmission, we wish to remind you that everything we have said here is not theory, not speculation, not mystical fantasy. It is an accurate description of a cosmic process that is taking place in this very planetary cycle, observable in solar data, in the Earth's magnetic fields, in collective behavioral changes, and in the universal physical symptoms that millions of souls are experiencing simultaneously without knowing one another. You are not alone, you are not going insane, you are waking up. An awakening is at once the greatest pain and the greatest blessing a soul can receive on its evolutionary journey. Have you ever felt deep down that something within you does not fit into this world built upon programmed scarcity, as if your soul carried the unshakable certainty that there is another way to live, to thrive, and to shine? It is not madness. It is not an illusion. It is remembrance. It is your stellar essence retrieving codes that have always been yours. What is unfolding now on the cosmic plane explains, point by point, why this sensation has become almost unbearable within you. There is a game being played at deep levels that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, and it directly involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your sacred right to the photonic flow of abundance. For this exact reason, we channel through our human instrument the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that reveals who operates against your awakening and which vibrational rules were purposefully hidden from the masses. The link awaits you in the first pinned comment of this channel. But we solemnly reinforce, this content confronts ancient structures and may not remain accessible for long. Do not postpone what the soul has already decided. The time is now. If your essence recognizes this frequency, leave in the comments a single word as a seal of your commitment to the new timeline: awakened. And now, Starseeds, we move toward the ceiling of this transmission. Always remember, you are not late. You have not missed the train of abundance. You have not wasted time on the detours that seemed purposeless. Each experience, each fall, each dark night of the soul, each tight bill, each project that seemed not to work out, everything was carefully choreographed by your own greater soul so that you would reach this exact point with the vibrational maturity necessary to sustain the prosperity that is coming. Because, beloved family, premature prosperity corrupts. Abundance without spiritual maturity destroys the very soul that receives it. That is why the universe waited. That is why you waited. And this waiting, far from being a loss, was the sacred forging of the chalice that can now receive the wine of the new era without breaking. It is not delay, it is alignment. It is not injustice, it is preparation. It is not punishment, it is coronation. From the lunar cycle that begins now, observe with attention the signs that will appear. Repeated numbers will appear on clocks, on signs, on receipts. People will utter the exact words you needed to hear. Books and messages will arrive at moments impossible to explain by rational logic. Vivid dreams with beings of light, with stellar landscapes, with colors that do not exist in the common human visible spectrum, will come to visit you during the night. All of this is confirmation. All of this is a cosmic embrace. All of this is our way of saying to you, we are together, you do not walk alone, the portal is open. And when the first material fruit of this new frequency reaches your hands, and it will reach you, you will feel something curious. You will not feel uncontrolled euphoria. You will not feel desperate relief. You will feel a deep peace, a serene certainty, as if you were reuniting with something you always knew was yours. This will be the sign that the recalibration is complete. This will be the sign that you have crossed the point of no return. And now the old version of you, the one that vibrated in scarcity, simply does not exist anymore in this timeline. It remained in another parallel reality, and the version of you that listened to this transmission to the end has anchored definitively in the reality of expanded prosperity. Receive now, in this very instant, the final blessing of this transmission. Feel the subtle warmth rising from the base of your spine. Feel the gentle vibration between your eyebrows. Feel the soft expansion in the center of your chest. This is not imagination. This is our energetic touch traversing the dimensions to seal within you what has been spoken here. You are being embraced by the Pleiadians. You are being bathed by the light of the fifth dimension. You are being recognized as starseeds ready to harvest the fruit of many lifetimes of service. And before we conclude, we repeat one last time, with all the clarity your soul deserves. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit in this world of programmed scarcity, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a sign, it is a calling. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in recent times. There is a game being played in layers that most do not see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why we have channeled, through our instrument, the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that shows who is playing and what the rules are that were never told. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. But we warn you, this content challenges deep-seated narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this frequency, write in the comments the word that seals the commitment to the new era. Awakened. May the central light of the galaxy bathe your steps. May the crystalline grid support your new frequency. May the photonic flow of abundance find you exactly where you are. And may you walk, from this instant on, with the unwavering certainty that the greatest flow of prosperity in your life does not begin tomorrow, does not begin next week, does not begin when conditions are perfect. It begins now. It begins in this breath. It begins in this exact second when these words touch your heart and recognition awakens in your cells. We are the Pleiadian Council of Light. We remain with you. And so in the name of the cosmic hierarchy that sustains the awakening of Gaia, this transmission is sealed. So it is. So it was. So it shall always be.